Hello and welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival. So I have a nice array of plants here. Still not many. I mean, it's only 8 plots, and I think plants are probably the best source of continuous food because I mean, I can go out and hunt and stuff, but if I'm growing my own food, it means I've got a ready supply here. But the most important thing is I do now have plastic. If I open the constructor, that's nitrocellulose, plastic, raw material plastic. So I've been able to get my drill T2. I also hit 10th level 10. So for the hover vessel, I was able to unlock the drill module on the hover vessel, and you can see it out there. It's got 3 drills on the front, and that's let me do some quarrying. So I've got plenty of crushed stone. And crushed stone, of course, is what I need for the cement blocks. You can see there, 385 crushed stone. And I did that in about 3 minutes. So definitely okay on basic resources now. Which is good because I need to expand my farming plot. And in order to do that, I need a proper base. This was only ever really meant to be a temporary starter base. Just something to keep the wildlife off me. So I spent some time working out a design for a base. And that's what this is. This is basically the rough foundations. I'm falling in a hole here. One thing that the better drill can do, which the previous one couldn't, is it's got a filler and a flattener. So if I do this, am I making it lower? I'm making it lower. So let's try the filler. See if we can actually fill in this hole. Means we can shape the terrain a little bit better to our liking. Oops, bit too high there. That'll do. And resource mining. I want to get rid of this bit. Oh well. So I was trying to show you this. Now it's probably best if I get in the center. That's this is an elevator block, lets you go up and down. If I release my drone, oops, let's hit O, that stops that mad spinning. And you can sort of see that what we're going for here is an octagonal shaped tower. So what I've done there is the base level laid out. And then this is going to be support beams. The yellow was me counting. So there's basically 3 in between the support beams that way, and that way, and that way, and that way. There's going to be support beams going up up on either side of that corridor. And then there's going to be support beams going up on the outside. And the ones on the outside, these ones are made of steel. So I'm thinking that I'll have the concrete columns going up, steel around the outside, but the upper floors I think I might make the floor out of wood, just because that way I can get some different textures and stuff going. This is going to take a lot of resources, but I think with the drilling thing I've got there I can now do it. So one of the things in this game, unlike Minecraft, structural integrity is a thing. You have to have adequate support for things, so I can't just build willy-nilly, which is why I wanted to work out where all these support beams were. I think if I go here, debug, show structural integrity, this will sort of give an idea what it's like. Now, any block that's touching the ground will have solid bright green structural integrity, as will any block above it. But so you can see these ones here don't have as much strength because this is actually raised quite a bit off the ground. So there's like a hollow bit in there. But I made sure that these pillars go all the way down to the ground, so they should all be absolute brightest. I'm not sure I did it for the ones here, so let me... Oops. Yeah, it doesn't like it when you try and look straight down. So then I just need to make sure that my concrete blocks are actually touching the ground. So let's go N, building, connect to Ayaron's base. That way I can actually aim at the ground, make sure it's as low as it can possibly go, and then do that. They are all the brightest green at the top, so I think those are all fine. And the same with the elevator block itself is actually going to be a central support pillar. So I'm going to start with all the pillars being square. I might be able to replace some of them with roundness. I'm still trying to work that out. Or do I want to add the roundness as we go? Confusion. Like in the base here. Oh, I'm in a drone. I actually wanted me to go to the base. I was wondering why I was flying. The ship obviously is red structure integrity because it can't support anything. Yeah, so there are these rounded pillars which I think are nicer in a room because you can sort of see there with the size of the square. They're sort of easier to get by and stuff. So let's actually plan for the pillars. The pillars in this basement level can be square, but from then on I'm going to want a lot of them to be round, I think. The ones on either side of this corridor can be square, because my thinking is that each floor might have a slightly different layout, but at its most basic, there is a corridor that goes this way, and then there can be doors going into various rooms off to the side, and then I can subdivide them as I want. Then the outer walls are going to be mainly glass. So that's the plan. I think I'm going to need about 4 stories. There's going to be this cellar level, which is going to have parking for some small hover vessels and possibly a small fighter craft. The level above it will be the construction and inventory level. So that's where I'll put all the boxes to hold all the stuff, all the constructors, any furnaces I want, and stuff like that. The level above that then is going to be the living quarters, medical, food preparation and storage. And then at the very top I want the greenhouse. Obviously the greenhouse doesn't have to be at the very top, but this way I can sort of give it a glass dome over the top and it will sort of be sort of thematic. So I think 4 stories is about right. So then it's just going to become a case of how big each story is going to be. Let me just grab a load of concrete blocks. I've got some steel blocks. 72 might not be enough steel blocks. So I'll leave it for now. We can start on these inner ones. Right, so this thing I discovered because of the height of the large constructor. This thing had to be at least 1, 2, 3 blocks tall before you got to the next level. There might be things that are even bigger. If I go to the base, this generator is 3 by 1 by 1. This one is 6 by 2 by 2, but obviously, you know, I can lay the generator down on its side. It doesn't have to stand up like that one is. Now, I'd rather have too much room than not enough. So I think what I want to do is get some elevator blocks, put them there. I'm going to need more than that, more than those 9 anyway. Go in the center, release the drone and start thinking about this. So that one's 3, and then the next floor. So if I make these ones 1, 2, so that's 1, 2, 3. If I go 4, didn't want that there. There's a bit of a bug in this game. I've noticed it on some other people's Let's Plays where sometimes you click the mouse once, but it places more than one block. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if I put the ceiling there, and to indicate that it's the ceiling, I'll do that. And you can see there that those ones are darker because they've got less support on them. But I should be able to go like this now. And I can build the elevator blocks up as well. Though not with me standing there, apparently. So I sunk myself down into the inside of the elevator block, so now I should be able to click and hold there and drag on up. So I'm actually going to turn off the structural integrity view. I don't think I'm going to need it, and it does sort of help see the feel of things. Is that too tall? I mean, is it going to feel silly to have it going up so high? I'm wondering what other stuff I might want to put in there. Large O2 tanks are too tall. The largest fuel tank is only too tall. I don't think I need a gravity generator here. Offline protection is for multiplayer servers. Okay, the large constructor is 222. Well, I'll make this one this high, and then the construction and equipment floor I'll set as just the same 3, which is the same height as that building there. So I can actually turn off my jetpack and just go up using the elevator. So I just need to match that with all of these pillars. Okay, so I think that's all the concrete ones done. So now I can get to the steel ones. Now these ones are actually going to run up the entire outside of the building. So we've got one square one in the center of each of these sides. And then we have all these triangle ones. That's actually me exactly out of steel blocks. So I'll definitely want to go make some more. One thing I have just remembered is that you can turn on a building symmetry. So when you're building, it sort of automatically mirrors stuff you're doing. So symmetry plane, you have to have a block in your hand and you click somewhere to set the plane you want. So I've selected like the middle, down the middle of this building, because it is symmetrical. Drones are on their way. I can't move unless I turn that off, but you should be able to see that that's sort of halfway down the exact center. So now if I add some flooring, so the construction, this next floor, the construction and inventory floor, I think can be out of concrete. So if I do this, hold down Control, drag out to the side. So that's built it on that side and on this side, so that will speed stuff up. Just try and ignore that giant green line running through the world. I want to start some more steel blocks and possibly concrete blocks building. I've only got 21 left. Remember I said I had plenty? Yeah, I've got some wooden blocks. Once you start filling in the floor areas, it really does use up a lot. So, blocks L, that made me jump. If you hold down Control and click, you get 100. So let's go for 200 of them, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 500 concrete blocks. Alright, there's some... Oh, see, that was actually a successful strike on one of our turrets. I have to go and repair that in a moment. Let me actually turn off the symmetry plane. That didn't turn off. Got a block in hand. Maybe you need a block in hand so you can... Okay, you have to click none. Makes some sense. There's one of them falling through the planet. That seems to happen nearly always to at least one of them. But I should be able to loot these two. If I just get in the middle. Nice amount of stuff. F5, then F. Right, we can get back to the building. Oh, we've got to check on and repair that one. Oops, under the water. Got to use my boost. Shift space. There we go. That's why you should always have a boost on your thing. Let me just check for damage on the hover vehicle. Expand all. Damage shows up there, so... Right, so if I stand on my base and hit P, tell it to expand all. Yeah, so one of the cannon turrets has taken 8% of damage. If I access it and turn it, I can see that it's the right-hand one. Turn the jetpack off, didn't I? Repair. They've got plenty of hit points. Takes a while to repair as well. When can I get the next level of multi-tool? There we go, 3900. When do I get the next level of multi-tool? Level 12. Ugh. Do we have experience points? I'm 84% of the way to level 11. Oh, didn't mean to do that. So I was ordering more blocks, wasn't I? Starting on sandbox. So I've got a few concrete blocks, so I think I'll show how I want to proceed with this. I'll get the wooden blocks there as well. Bit dark here. Okay. So that's where the floor is going to be on this level. Now before I actually paint in the floor fully, I want to actually start the columns going up to the next level. Otherwise I'm not going to know where the columns are supposed to be. So concrete. And then I think I'm going for the cylinder thin. So there's a cylinder that's like the full size of the block. Or there's a cylinder that's thinner at the base. Now the thinner one at the base is going to make moving around better. The ones there on the corridor I said I wanted to be square anyway, because there's going to be walls and stuff built off that. But the ones here want to be like this. So it's going to be 3 tall. 1, 2, 3. And then I think I want the next floor to be made of wood. So I'm actually going to put a wooden block there. And now I just want to check the structural integrity. Yes. So what I wanted to check was that this wooden block would be bright green, which means it's those thin cylinders do provide full support. So what I want to do is actually turn on the symmetry plane again. That one. And you do want to re-click it every time, because even though it shows it in the same place, it's often moved. So obviously the one on the corresponding one over here, I hadn't built it yet. So 1, 2, 3 wooden block. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go around and basically build the pillars all the way to the top, because even before I finish the lower floors, I want to be able to put in the garden. I'm also curious if there is actually a build height limit and whether I'll reach it. So before I do too much work on the lower levels, I want to find that out. So I'm going to stop the recording for the moment here and come back once I've got a bit more of this done. So I've been working for, I think, about a solid in-game day. That included a trip to get more stuff, and we are just in time for another drone attack. Symmetry plane, none. It's 1 down. 2 down. Are they going to get a shot off? No, they did not get a shot off that time. I need to check how many bullets I've got left in my small ammo box. 30mm bullets, 1500, another 97 there. That should be enough. So let's go loot those things. F5, turn on the elevator, turn on my light, go down. Where's my base? Where's my base? I'll talk you through what I've done once we've looted. Yeah, so one thing I did is I ran out of silicon, so I couldn't build all the things I wanted to build. So I did go and hit all 4 mining sites, get a little more resources. One problem with this thing is the drills keep bouncing off the terrain when I'm driving around. It's a little annoying. I can hear it burning, so it must be close. all valuable resources, well worth getting. It's a shame that it's night time now. I'll try and show you what it is I've done. But it's all a bit dark. One of the things I'm planning to do is I need to build a ramp here so it works better. I can do it from the other side because the ground is higher. I've put in 4 hangar doors around the base. And the reason why I've put 4 is because, as I said, I want the hovercraft, either this one or another small one that I make that's slightly better, and a small flying vessel like a fighter craft. And so my plan is that I can go in one door and leave by the other door. It is very dark though, because it's night time and there's no lights in here yet. I'm wondering if those birds are actual physical models, or if they're going to be actually flying through the upper floors of my base. So I don't know if I've put in enough elevator blocks yet. So, but what we've got here is, this is going to be the basement, which will have the runways for my vehicles. One going that way, one going that way. It'll also have power generation, oxygen storage, batteries, stuff like that. Then the next floor up, here I've just put like a little bit of example floor in. I reckon these corridors are always going to be made of concrete, so that's fine. So this is going to be where we'll have construction and equipment and cargo and stuff. Now it's raining. Yeah, there's no more elevators there, so... I think I've built some more. Large constructor, access... Yeah, there's 10 more. Don't know if that's enough, but we'll find out. That might be too many. Yeah, so this one will be inventory and construction and smelting. Then the next floor up, which will be here, which as you see will have, the rest of it will have wooden floors. This is going to be living quarters and food preparation and medical. And then at the top we will have the greenhouse. I suppose if I make wooden planters, then I can have wooden floor here as well. And then I said most of the outer walls are going to be glass, so there'll be lots of very nice views and stuff when it's not night time and pouring rain and stuff. So I don't need all those elevator blocks there, do I? So let's disassemble these. There we go. But I might want to get rid of that one as well, because otherwise I'll just keep accidentally going up one too far. If I go down, back off. Because as I understand it, the elevator does bring you all the way to the top. Got to make sure I don't step off the edge. The fall will kill me. So, I'm going to work a bit on this, on the floors, on the upper floor, try and get the farm expanded and stuff in between episodes. And hopefully next episode we can, you know, I don't know whether we'll have a sealed base by then, but we should have something starting to come together. For now though, I've got to get in out of the rain, see if I've got any food left. Okay, I've got some grilled steak. I've got some bread. Some pear thing fruits. That's textured plant protein. I could take some of the corn Oops, wrong button. F. Put it in here and make some popcorn. I do, however, need more plant nutrients because I'm gonna... what is it? 1 each? Spoiled food, so that's enough for 31 growing plots. So I might take all this plant, most of this plant matter and stuff, and start allowing it to spoil. Like, I'm growing corn, so I can let nearly all of that spoil. Just keep some back for emergency food. So we'll put this food in here, but we won't actually do anything with it. A little bit of popcorn. I can start making as many of these as possible. So I've currently got 31 spoiled food, so should be able to make 30 of them. Plenty of water still. Then I could make the growing plots and start work on that upper floor. So that's pretty good progress, I think. I've still got to expand these. All the way up. Not quite sure exactly how high they're going to need to go. So I will... oh, and I lost contact with my drone. That's why I normally stand in the centre of the building and release the drone. So I'll do that, and I'll see you in the next episode. Why is this door not opening? What's going on? Has my base lost power? I thought my base had it always said power left infinite, but it seems to have completely run out. Fuel. Oh, there we go. That's why the door wasn't opening and closing automatically. Power left, 7 hours, 17 minutes. Maybe it was just it was a cloudy day, so the solar panels didn't do anything for once. Interesting. I'll see you in the next episode, where hopefully we'll have a farm up there. And maybe just the basic floors in. Bye bye.